Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now, let's hear it for our special guest host, Jeff Bright.
That's Jeff Bright right there.
And that's Terry Edwards.
That's my friend.
It's my friend.
That's right.
Hey, we thought, seriously.
Oh, he done got serious too
The
fast.
TWC, we thought, how can we make it more like subdued and like a quiet place? Just be real serious. And we thought, no, we're probably not the right two guys for that. No.
Wrong.
That
was action-packed, baby.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll talk about a lot of stuff today, but I'm so happy to have Terry with me. They always tell me I can have somebody to help. Like, I'm always going to go to my go-to because Terry will light you up. Terry don't need help, you know. I don't need help either, though.
No, you don't.
I don't need no help.
I thought you called me because I lived 40 minutes away. It was easy for me to get in.
That has something to do
Easy on the budget.
That has a little
Easy
bit.
on the budget.
His better half's staring right at me right here.
Oh, yeah. That's right. She
Yeah.
up in here, boss lady.
Yeah. Hey, my wife loves Tia to the point she went over there after she was working out to visit the office.
She did.
That's big because she don't get involved in nothing that I'm involved in. But she loves her some Tia. And Terry. She likes Terry too, but Tia's Tia's the one.
Yeah. She got that effect.
Mm-hmm. She does. So we're gonna do a little talking, a little teaching, a little talking, some humor. We can't help but be funny.
No. I woke up like that.
So I got slides because I always have slides because I'm an academic. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Jeff Bright. This is Terry Edwards.
That's right.
Terry is an agent. I am not. I'm a consultant, but we both work here for the Alliance. And we've been around, I've been around since 2012, but officially in a full-time, part-time capacity since 2017.
Yeah, and I'm coming up on a decade. April will be 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
We've known each other that whole 10 years, just about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have, you see people get on these calls and they're all friendly with each other. We actually do like each other. We actually are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I met you was at a big event. We used to call it our leadership conference, which is now we call it this family reunion. And me and Tia, we was just getting started. I think we have been in about 3 months, and we were having some success. Like when I say success, we was making about $8 to $12 grand a month, pretty much right out the gate. Say that again. I know that's right. So we were making money, but we had a lot of pressure too, Miss Andrea, because I had just lost my job. I have been working in the credit union industry for 16 years, and I was named CEO of a credit union down in Atlanta. So we moved down there mid-school year. We had 3 kids in elementary. Tia was 7 months pregnant with our youngest daughter, and we moved down there and they rescinded the job offer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about y'all, but when you making 6 figures, you live like you making 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? You got a mortgage, right? You got a couple of nice cars that you don't own. They're financed, right? You got a lot of debt. And so when I lost my job, I was like, I was making money here, but I still had a lot of that burden of, can I do it every month? Like, am I going to be able to pull this off every month? Because, you go through a honeymoon phase, Clay. You do go through a honeymoon phase, Clay. Clay just got married, so next time y'all see Clay, he is no longer allowed to put up the sexy picture of him with his shirt unbuttoned. Now he's a married man.
Yeah.
But you go through that honeymoon phase, where everything is great, but an argument is coming. Somebody is going to leave the toilet seat up. Somebody going to pee on the toilet. Something getting ready to happen, right? So my mindset was, this is going good, but can I pull it off every month? And then I went to my wife. I said, Tia, I like this business, but I don't know if I can do it every month. I said, won't we just turn our house in, do a deed in lieu of foreclosure? Let's get a small apartment for us and the children and take some of the pressure off, man. Mm-hmm. And so I did what any smart person would do. I didn't rely on my own thing. Now, I sold her But then I went to Andy and I was like, listen, check my thinking. This is what I'm thinking.
You were sitting right there.
It was on lunch break, sitting right in this office,
right
and you were sitting in that corner.
I was sitting in that corner,
listening.
That's where I stay.
But you were listening. But that day was very monumental because you told me a story that I'll never forget about the cow and the buffalo. And everybody's going to have a storm in their life. So either you're on your way in a storm, you're in the middle of a storm, you coming out of one, but everybody got a storm going on. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know about y'all, but I had a couple of thunderstorms pop off this morning. But you said, Terry, you said, well, Andy, can I interject? And Andy was like, sure, you in here. So you said, a cow, when they're in a storm, they try to outrun the storm and actually end up being in the storm longer. And then you said, but a buffalo sees the storm coming and a buffalo charges the storm. And he gets in it and gets out of it quicker. He said, the question, Terry, is, are you going to be a cow or are you going to be a buffalo? And that conversation was one of the things that really helped me cement that I was home. And instead of being a cow, I need to charge into this thing like a buffalo. And man, we've been rocking for the last 10 years, man. So first of all, I appreciate you for your friendship.
Yeah.
A true friend is somebody who's there for you, not when you just up, but a real friend is when you're going through something and you call them and they can pick up. And Jeff, you have been that. And I'm also grateful for Andy and Jane for putting good quality people like you in our lives so that we can not only do well in business, but we can stay sane at the same time. So, man, we're just so appreciative of this company and this opportunity, bro. Appreciate you, man.
And you too.
Love you too.
Love you too. And Terry and I talk all the time. Often. We don't always talk about the business. We talk about this life in general,
Yeah.
And that's good. It's one thing. I'm 62. One of these days I ain't gonna be here, and I'll finally be fully retired, and I don't know what I'll be doing.
Like, just don't change your phone.
Probably watching American.
Don't change your phone.
Watch American Idol a lot. I don't want to change my phone number. I'll probably watch that and Oak Island, all these shows that I tape. I'll watch them over and over again, and think about the days where this is a place that I found purpose. I had meaning in what I did in my previous job where I worked 30 years at the college. I found meaning in what I did. We're going to talk about the difference between meaning and purpose, but I'm just kind of setting that up today.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in. I've got a lot of true friends like Terry in the business, and that's what I'm going to treasure is the friends I take from this, not the fact that we did business together.
That's right.
That's why I'm here.
That's right.
So let's talk about this topic: 7 questions to unlocking your potential. So yeah, there you go. So the first slide is Terry and I. We will go down a rabbit hole together. We'll get sidetracked and we'll talk too much. So we'll let you in on a little secret. You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
When I do like that, you might want to pick this up.
Or either should do this right here.
That's her. Mine's going to be, we talked too long about that slide. So if you even do that, it's time to move on. And this one right here, we're going to get hung up on. I just feel it.
Let's get it.
I feel it, but I'm going to try not to. So I'm going to set it up, and Terry's going to knock it out.
Let's go. Let's go.
You can look at this thing. What are y'all looking at it?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, I hope everybody in TV land can see it. Yeah. Well, people want different things out of this business, not just the alliance. I'm just saying whatever they choose to do for a living.
Yeah.
Right? Some people choose a job to be successful. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I did not choose a job to be successful. I chose the second. I just want to have security. I don't want to be rich. Andy's out there going, amen to that. He don't want to be rich. I know he's on a plane. He cannot hear this. But I know if he was here, he would be saying something smart about that. But he's accepted that about it. Now, he tried to change me in the beginning. Don't you want to be successful? Nope. I'm good. Just pay me my salary, and I'm good. Because I got a retirement coming in. I'm good. Just pay me this with my salary. I can live 5 months of paychecks away from poverty. I'm good with that. And so I don't need to complain. If Terry is way past 5 checks away from poverty.
And you know that's right.
Because I chose, that's right, because I chose the former. So I just want a peace of mind because I just want to pay my bills.
Right.
Now, Nancy, my wife, she may be going, she'd have something to say about that. But that's just who I am. And we need to figure out who we're dealing with. Because if you put the successful people and the security-driven people together, they make up 30% of the population. So when y'all recruiting people and trying to get them to come here, and you start using language like, don't you want? Yeah, these are the want people. These are the do people. These are the destination people. These are the people you say, hey, you want to get from point A to point B? This is the activity you got to do. Right? Terry and I, even though our income's different, we both find meaning in doing the do.
So no.
We find meaning in the what. We will what ourselves into a good feeling. We don't need to know why we're doing the what. We'll just do it. We'll move sand piles all day long. Don't have to tell me why, as long as you're going to pay me to move them.
That's right.
But that's only 30% of the population. And our mistake is we talk to the other 70% with that same language, and we turn them off. Now, will they come to a convention? Yeah. Come. Maybe come once or twice, then we'll never see them again. Because there's a lot of rah-rah and don't you want? That scares the crap out of this bottom right here. That's not how they respond to life. That's 70% of the population we're not reaching.
So this is what, not want.
They're want and what.
They want.
Want and what.
Okay. All right.
They're do. I'm just throwing a lot of words out there.
Okay.
But Terry made a good point. Terry made a good point about this. Can you be wanting success and these people down here are need people? You can write that down if you want to, since you're in the writing mood. They need to serve their fellow man and womankind. They need to really bad. Can you need and want? That's what'd you say? That's a great combo, right?
Yeah. So a lot of us and a lot of people in general, when they see our opportunity, right? When we show them the opportunity, right? Most people are already working a job that they don't like, right? They're not making enough money. They are one paycheck away from everything going to hell in a handbasket, right? That's most people. 60% of Americans, actually 70% of Americans right now, if they had $1,000 emergency, couldn't pay it in cash. They would have to finance, $1,000, let's put it in perspective. 2 tires, a hot water heater go out, a child need braces, they got to go in debt. So when they see our opportunity, right, I believe in my heart of hearts, everybody is already used to having just enough to get by. When they first see this, a glimpse of success comes in everybody's mind. In my opinion. Like, I was just talking about for me. When I saw this, and I met Jason and Olga, and I met Andy Riddle and Andy Albright, and they were living at higher vibrations than me, I was like, I want that. Even though I see lack, I see barely getting by, what would happen if this opportunity is truly what they say it is, and I can have that lifestyle? So I believe everybody, when they first see our opportunity, people are just used to getting by. But you see a glimpse of being successful and significant, where now you got more choices. I was talking with a high school economics class the other day, and the guy one of the kids, he was like, oh, so you bougie. I said, little boy, don't come for me unless I call for you. I'm not bougie. I just got choices. I got a choice of if I want to fly first class, or if I want to do coach. It's just choices, right? So a lot of us, we do get a glimpse of, you know what? If it can happen for them, it can happen for me. But what happens is, once we get into it, the honeymoon phase ends pretty quickly, because if you don't pick up this telephone and start making no phone calls, wealth ain't coming your way. So then what happens is we start negotiating. And then instead of looking at trying to be successful and creating choices, well, you know what? I ain't doing too bad. Like, I ain't got all that I want, but I ain't doing too bad. We start downgrading and settling to go for security. And then it gets dangerous down here when these people, these serenity people, right? These are the people right here. And then we got space for everybody, so we ain't disqualifying nobody, right? But these people that just want to be a part of something, they want harmony. They like being a part of the team, but they don't want to do what's required to put points on the board. Though that's where it gets dangerous. Those people who come to conventions speaking of convention, we got a big shindig coming up, y'all. January the 24th, 5th, and 26th in Dallas, Texas. All roads lead into Dallas, Texas. It's our national convention. People are coming from the north, south, east, and west to get to Dallas, Texas for our national convention. On Friday night, they say everything is bigger in Texas. We're doing it Western style. Dust off your boots, get your cowgirl hats, your spurs, get all that stuff together for Friday night. Saturday, all day training. Then we're going to have a big old award ceremony. So if you didn't get into the Western thing, dust off your tuxedo shoes, put your patent leathers on. We're going to have a big old event all weekend long. Super, super excited. That's what I'm talking about right there. Make sure you have your ticket. Make sure you get your ticket. www.allianceevents.com. But these people right here, dangerous, Jeff.
Yeah, this is what I call these two people. Remember, I called these two destination people. And listen, if you want people to write a bunch of apps, recruit them people right off the bat. They're going to put apps out. They're not going to be your problem. But we rely too heavily to hold the company up with these two people. We need to tap in to what makes them do something.
Right.
Now, they want you to meet them where they're at. These people right here will meet you where you tell them to go.
That's right.
They want you to meet where they're at. And I'm fine with that. The only thing I say to these two people, because we call them journey people. They're not destination. They're on a journey.
Yeah.
So I can full-time journey.
But you can't fit in both.
You can't fit in both
and serving.
So
I had to go back. My bad. There we go.
Okay. So what I would like to say about these folks is, yes, they do show up. I know some of these people right here. For whatever reason, these two people like me. They follow me around the convention and keep doing it. It's good for my ego. But these people here, they'll come to every convention, and we want them to come to convention. But I know some that'll come and they ain't wrote an app in 3 years, but they like our culture.
Right.
That's when our culture becomes a double-edged sword for us. We so good at culture, we grab a bunch of these people. These people will come. Now, once it don't come that much, the lowest attending people of the four is these people. Yeah. Because we don't talk about how, and I'm kind of a mix of these two.
Yeah.
And this one right here, I'm kind of a little bit of destination if you have something I want to get to. But I'm mostly kind of a journey kind of guy. And I do want to help. I do like helping. I am a helper. I'm a Mr. Rogers fan. I'm a helper. In times of trouble, look at the people that are helping. That's these people. They're good people. I'm trying to get into heaven too, so I'm trying to do that.
That's right.
But I'm going to tell you, these people here, the ones that I think of that are with us, that have figured it out, and they've combined this with these two, is like Sarah Seifert. I love Sarah Seifert. I don't know if y'all know Sarah Seifert. Yeah. I love Sarah Seifert. She's one of my favorite people. One of the kindest, gentlest.
But she's not the favorite.
Not the favorite, but she's I'm up there. And so Sarah, when you ask her, like people report their numbers every week on my accountability calls, and I ask Sarah, how many apps did you write? She never says, this is how many apps I write. She always prefaces by saying, this is how many families I helped. Right?
Yeah.
So you can be both.
So it's so a lot of times people equate success to financial gain or a money figure. I'm successful because I make $100,000. I'm successful because I make $500,000, right? But serving people are not focused on success. They're focused on significance, because it stopped being about $1 and be more about how many more people can I help? How many more people can I serve, right?
What is this? Red?
I don't know. I guess let's try it out. So how many more people? It's a people goal. Because eventually, I remember Andy said this right here. You need to go ahead and resolve in your spirit right now that you're going to be humble and you're going to stay hungry, because you're going to make a lot of money, right? So you need to go ahead and make up in your mind, I'm going to make a lot of money, but I'm going to stay hungry and I'm going to stay humble. The hungry and humble people transition from a money goal to a people goal. Why on God's green earth is Andy Albright still recruiting people in a restaurant? It ain't about the money. It's about, he said all the time, one more. How can I help one more person get it? Can I help one more person be a better human? Can I invest? I think Jim Rohn said it this way. He said, I got it pulled up because I want to make sure I got it right. Will you invest in people and lift them towards their potential? They gonna love you. They will love you, right? But on the flip side, if we trying to invest in people and they ain't willing to do, they ain't willing to read, they ain't willing to do the 8 steps, they gonna hate you. Because they're not progressing towards their potential, they are settling. So serving people look at it as the Samaritan mindset of, I'm investing now in people. And people is what build businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I like about these two people, because they're kind of my people, but I have figured out that meaning has to come before purpose, but these people want to put purpose before meaning, and I understand that. So I got to figure out how to talk to these folks. They don't want what you want. If you're up here, they don't want it. All right, quit talking to them. Quit using the word want. Quit asking them what they want, because they don't want. They only need. They just need. So figure out what they need, the bare minimum.
Right.
Like I have a messy garage. I got cats that use a litter box out there, all their litter boxes out there. It's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. Do I want a clean garage? You damn right I do. Is it clean? No. There is no correlation between me wanting it and it getting clean. Do I need one? If you went out there and fell over some stuff and go, yeah, you need, just because I need one, don't mean it's going to get done. But until my wife walks out there and goes, it needs to be done this weekend, now I have to.
Right.
We got to figure out what is their have to.
That's right.
And address that. Quit talking about what they want. They don't need to dream. They live in a dream world. Get them out of it.
That's right.
So when I taught college, I figured this out. I found meaning in what I did, which I was a professor, I was a teacher, and I did a good job. I didn't reach them all, but I sure tried. I gave it my biggest effort that I could for 30 years, and I found meaning in executing and honing my craft and being good at teaching. Some of these people here need to figure out, we need to move them up here and let them, because what we're introducing to them too early is the word, it's an awful word to tell them in the beginning, which is, don't you want to be an entrepreneur? That's a rabbit hole. You just need to talk to them about being an agent first. I learned to be a teacher, a darn good teacher first. And then I found meaning in doing that over and over again, over and over, teaching the same crap every year, different students, same song and dance over and over again. But then one day, Some student walks in 3 years later that I had 3 years ago. They took the class with me, it was their first class on their journey to being who they wanted to be in life, and they came back to thank me and tell me, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be who I am today. If you do this right, your purpose will be revealed to you.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it's about. So I want to show you just kind of overviewing this. What activities give you your greatest sense? Hey, I know that top half they already find meaning in what you don't need to get that 30% to get fired up about doing this. They already are fired up about doing it. They need to find out the reason why they're doing it, and you need to sell that to them because that's what they lack. Down here, they already got a reason. They live in that reason every day. They just don't know how to execute it. Right? We need to sell meaning to them and purpose to these people. Flip it. Because these are mission people and these are reason people. And you got to use the right vocabulary. If you're using mission vocabulary on these people, they're just sitting there smiling. So they ain't smiling because they're happy. They're just saying, I can't wait to get the hell out of here. This place scares me.
So what are some, when you say the wrong vocabulary, give us some examples.
Well, like I said before, telling these people, don't you want a new house? Don't you want a new car? Don't you want to have all the riches? Don't you want to travel wherever you want to travel? No, they don't. And no, I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't really care. I'm happy going home in there and just playing pickleball and doing the simple things of life. I don't need to travel the world. But I am traveling in December because my wife, I promised her a trip. And we've been putting it off for a couple years for various reasons that I don't want to get into. But December 9th through the 19th, you will not see me. I will be in London.
Okay.
Because that's where we're going. So we will go places, but this is to reward her for something that she's overcome and she don't like me to talk about it.
So these people right here are very tricky because they will tell us what they think that we want to hear.
That's exactly right.
So they're very tricky. So when we're doing GS3 calls, right? And people saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be this. Okay, have you ever what's the most money you've ever made in a year? 50,000. Okay. Well, how much do you need to make right now for this for this to be successful for you? And give me that number. So I'm going to bring them from out the cloud down here to right now. How much do you need right now to keep the repo man from coming to your house or to keep your wife off your back? What is that number? And then let's build a schedule around that number. And then we're talking to them, okay, well, once we get that number, let's say it's $2,000 a month or whatever, how would you like to make another $2,000 a month? How would you like to have $2,000 a month coming in that you ain't got to go out and do all the work? So that's how we kind of introduce building to these people, because I ain't trying to get them to make 4,000. I just want them to make 2,000 another way by them bringing us more people.
And do y'all think these people here like to have this conversation? No, they don't, because it's shocking them into reality. I mean, I'll tell them all the time on my calls. Okay, what do you need? What do you want? Yeah, what do you need to make a month to pay your bills? And they'll go, 10,000. I'm like, 10,000? Then where do you live? Move away from that place. 10,000. And then I'll go, did you understand the question? Yeah, I think so. I'm like, how much are your bills a month? Oh, $3,500. I said, that's all you need. But I said, I didn't ask you that. They want to live in the clouds.
Right.
And not in the here and now.
Right.
And it's a problem. It's a very big problem. So when I get them down to the bare minimum of what they need from this business, like they're like, I'm like, oh, I've already got 3,500 coming in. I'm like, okay, so you really don't need that. What would give you a couple choices and move you a little bit away from just barely making it, living paycheck to paycheck? That's what you want to know. Oh, about an extra 1,500. Well, then I'm like, well, here's how you're going to make it. This is how many leads you need to buy. This is how many dials you need to make. I'm going to get it down to meeting them where they're at, and then expect them to be there when I'm there to meet them, and we're going to get $1,500 a month. Now, and I don't want to sell them. And you know what? You know what they say to me, especially the Serenity people. They get on my nerves. You know what the Serenity people say?
What they say?
They go, I don't like this call. This is demotivating. I thought I was supposed to be motivated. He's talking me out of my $10,000 dream. Like, really? How much have you ever made in a month? 4,000. I'm like, you never made 10. But I want to, and you're making me feel bad about it. I'm getting off this call. I'm never going to get on here again. You're not. They said you were motivating. You're not motivating. Money. I mean, is this for real? Yeah.
Now the other cool part, if you walk in the light of day, and we ain't talking about D-A-Y, Miss Andrea, D-A-E, day, duplication, associating, edification, associating. If you hang around us, you might come in with a $2,000 mentality, right? But if you hang around us, aren't living things, growing things, right? So we start to grow our ambition by implementing and doing these 8 steps to success. This book right here is the cornerstone of our success as an organization. How many people can we get, first of all, this information in their hands? Like, we should be buying these books by the case. Like, you can call Tia Land and she gonna give you bulk pricing, B-U-L-K, sort of like Sam's Club, not the Walmart, Sam's Club pricing, and put these books in people's hands and let them know that if you do these 8 steps consistently, you're going to be successful here. I ain't going to put a dollar amount on it, but you're going to be successful. So how many people can we get doing the 8 steps? And then where it really gets excited, and we go from adding to multiplication, how many people can we get teaching the 8 steps? But you got to do before you teachy. Do you want to have moral authority?
I jumped ahead to the slide, but I want to go back just to not get it twisted.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. You don't need to have that discussion with these 2 people about what they need and what they have to.
No,
you can go on right on to the want.
Came on to the part.
That if they want to make it 10,000, then let them make it 10,000.
Right.
I'm just talking about these that we need to kind of like slow it down. All right. Let's move on. All right. Now this is an interesting slide because I made it up. No, it's an interesting slide to me. It says a whole lot because that 70% that we're talking about, a lot of them have to change all 3 of these things.
Yeah.
Okay. And the number one thing they have to change is a lack of belief. What they don't believe in is they don't believe in themselves first, and then we expect them to believe in this system. They ain't even figured out how to believe in themselves. And I know that's probably psychological, and some of them do need psychological help. And I am not a psychiatrist, so do not come to me and let me to fix your problems. But people that don't believe...
I think you're a good bootleg psychologist, though.
Drugstore psychologist.
You're pretty good at that.
I can fake it.
Yeah,
because I stayed in.
You make me feel good.
In one of them hotels. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I stayed in a Best Western last night. All right, so I don't think that's right, but anyway, y'all got the gist of it. So the belief part means they don't really have hope that they think things can get better. And when you don't think things can get better, then you act out what I call the Bill Murray Groundhog's Day. You'll every day will be the same. It'll just be you're living in a rut, right?
Right.
You're reliving the same day over and over again. And every once in a while you try to add excitement and you'll go, well, we're going to go to Myrtle Beach. Well, they changed it up. You changed it up for a week. But you're still doing the same thing when you go to Myrtle Beach. You get down there, what are we going to do? I guess we're going to walk out to the sand. We want to go eat? Well, it's only 4:30. Well, we will beat the crowd.
Right.
You're doing the same thing on vacation that you do back at home. The reason is they just don't hope. They don't have any hope. The people that don't believe are living in a wish mentality. So they might as well just go by. They're looking for a miracle. Looking for a miracle, trying to buy a lottery ticket, putting candles on a cake and wishing, and then believing something's going to happen. You can't wish your way out of the dark. You just can't.
How you get out?
You can only hope your way out of a dark place.
Come on.
Now that's a problem right there.
So you can hope it and work it. You got to hope it. Some people say faith, but faith without works is dead. So we need to have both. And that self-belief is huge. So how do you start believing in yourself? We have to create healthy patterns and routines, right? Our schedule will help us start believing in ourselves. What do you mean by that? Okay, on Monday, if that's your dial day, what time do you suppose to dial? 8 o'clock in the morning? All right, cool. Are you on the phone at 8 o'clock in the morning? If you're not believing in yourself. If you are on the phone at 8 o'clock and you said you was going to be on 8 o'clock, guess who you can believe in now? I can believe in myself, right? So creating healthy patterns, a schedule. Oh, well, I supposed to dial at 8. Well, what's going to stop you? So like the schedule, when you get in a healthy pattern, and that's what the activity book is designed to do, is to help us get in an activity, a habit, so that it's habitual. On Mondays, I know I'm dialing the book appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm dialing on Thursday the book for Friday, Saturday. Oh, I'm a weekend warrior. I do this thing on the side. What I'm dialing when I get off work on Thursday and Friday, the book appointments for all day Saturday and Sunday after I get off church. And you keep doing that same pattern until it becomes habitual. But one of the reasons why people can't become habitual is they're not believing in themselves because they're surrounding themselves with doubters. You got to surround yourself with freaking winners. If you want to win, you got to hang out with the winners. Because when you hang out with the winner, you're going to start thinking like a winner. You're going to start talking like a winner. You're going to start living like a winner. You're going to even walk like a winner. And before long, you're going to be done messed around and done won. Y'all tracking what I'm putting down? So that's how you get your dadgum self-belief. New habits, new friend groups. If you hanging out with the same dadgum people that you've been hanging out with since high school, that's a problem, because all y'all talking about what y'all did in high school. If you come to the conventions and you hanging out with the same people, oh, we're going to have our annual drinking session. It's just going to be us four and no more. How is our business going to grow? If you're going to go out drinking, at least double your attendance. We had four at NatCon, and now at our spring meeting, we're going to have 8. We're going to have 8 drinkers. Y'all tracking what I'm putting out? Living things are growing things. Don't nobody want to go to no dead party with the same people all the time. Hell, how I keep Tia happy, I'll be a different person depending on the day of the week. I got me some costumes. I ain't going to tell y'all about that.
Oh, that's this. I'm going to make a mental. I got a mental note. That's the only thing I'm taking away from this.
Man,
wow, that was a shocker. I don't know if I can come back from that.
That was just if somebody was asleep, I was trying to wake them up. These are just jokes. But I'm serious.
All right, so
healthy patterns.
Yeah, we got it. Healthy patterns.
And surrounding yourself
and
with
costumes. Right.
Yeah, costumes.
Right. Yeah. All right, so I just feel like I'm into like thunder and ice or something. That's what I feel like. All right, so lack of control. If you don't believe, you ain't gonna have no control of your life. Right? So control is this. You are proactive with life. You're playing chess with life, not checkers. So a lot of people, especially that 70%, they're waiting for life to dictate to them what's going to happen next. They're reacting to what life deals them instead of being proactive. That 30% that's killing in our business, they are proactive. They have control of their life. So we got to figure out how to get people to be proactive and not reactive, and that's what I'm talking. So if you want to activate somebody's drive or their get up and go, then get them to start thinking ahead before something happens. I mean,
because it's gonna happen.
Like, I mean,
hell is breaking loose.
Every time I've ever heard about, and I know this is how a Capricorn thinks. If is any Capricorn, there's a Capricorn. I think the first time I ever heard the word chargeback, This might not be right thinking. You'll have to correct me on this. But this is my thinking, because I'm not an agent. But it's what I was thinking. I'm like, chargeback? That don't sound good. Yeah, do something about it. I was doing some thinking about that when I heard that. I was like, and then I heard people go, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. People come up to me and go, I got a chargeback. I'm thinking about quitting. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. You mean you don't have enough money put away? And I say these on the calls, and there's a lot of young people on the call, and I go, you don't have a rainy day fund? They go, rainy day? What does that mean? I said, yeah, you don't have I'd have a fund separate in my bank account where I wouldn't spend all that money, and I put it over here in case I got a chargeback. That's what I would do as a Capricorn. I ain't going to be shocked by no damn chargeback.
I ain't studying no chargeback. See, because I be thinking like this right here. I know it's going to happen. About 20 to 25% is going to fall off. That's just the way it is, right? Now, if you get above 25%, you finna get fired. To be clear, these insurance companies will fire you. But the problem is not the chargeback. The problem is inside the circle of you. We can control our attitude and our activity, right? So first of all, my attitude is I know 25% gonna fall off. But what I do know is if I'm a consistent producer, right, it ain't gonna hurt me. So the problem is people who are inconsistent in their schedule. So if I'm gonna write 20,000 a month, I'm gonna write 20,000 every month. I ain't gonna be no dadgum one-hit wonder. So if I'm writing 20,000 every month and my chargeback percentage is consistent, my cash flow is good. The problem comes in when you write 20,000 one month. The next month, oh, I got money. I ain't gonna work, honey. I'm going on a trip. And then you write 3,000. And then 20% of that 20,000 fall off, but you only wrote 3,000, feel like you're hustling backwards. So it's the inconsistent production is the problem. But people want to blame the chargeback. But who is in control of the activity? Me. So when I was in the field, and I still write quite a bit.
Yeah, you do.
I issued about 150 something on my own pen this year. Ain't bad. Ain't bad.
That's not bad.
Ain't bad. But what I'm saying is, it's consistency. Are you booking 20 appointments a week? It's the emotional intelligence is what we got to have. So are we consistently booking 20 appointments a week? Oh, I can't book 20. Am I consistently investing in leads? Now, this is one thing that I've been preaching to the dream team. 2025 is going to be our year of unprecedented growth. Period. You ain't never seen no growth like we finna have. But we're going to invest in three things. We're going to invest in ourselves by coming to meetings, reading the books, right? We're going to invest in leads. We're going to consistently invest in leads. Because when I consistently invest in leads, I'm consistently staying in front of people that want what I got.
That's right.
Baby. And if I'm consistently staying in front of people that want what I got, I'm going to close 50 to 60% of them people. So I'm going to always have money. So we're going to invest in ourselves. We're going to invest in leads. And we're going to invest in people. More people.
So you're telling me if I'm consistent as an agent, then I don't need a rainy day fund.
That's right.
Your effort is your currency.
Oh, okay. Well, your
effort is your currency. The problem is when you got piss poor effort, but you won't make a currency, that ain't going to work.
I see.
So if I'm putting my work in, I ain't got to worry about, because cash flow is better than money in the bank.
We having a hard time with that. But I'm trying to follow.
Okay, cash flow.
Yeah.
Cash flow.
Yeah.
You talk about rainy day fund.
Yeah.
You can have a rainy day fund. But once that money is gone from that rainy day fund, you got to build it up. But if you got cash flow, and that money is coming through your bank account like a dadgum river, and you got a need for something, you dip your bucket down up in there, get what you need out. And because you got cash flow, before you can get that bucket out the water, it's done replenished itself. That's what we call getting wide as a fat baby's bottom and deep as the Nile. So you constantly have cash flow. You don't, my effort my sales dials and my recruiting dials, that's my rainy day fund.
Have you ever had anybody outspend their cash flow?
Well, you gonna get some more. You ain't gonna have nothing left over.
You sound like
right?
Nancy now. So I'm glad she ain't watching this.
But I like that type of pressure.
Yeah,
because
you do.
pressure is a privilege.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's look at the last one, lack of attraction. Lack of attraction is how you expect to sell anything if you're like Eeyore on Winnie the Pooh. You know, we need Tiggers. How are you going to recruit somebody if you walk around like you're depressed all the time?
Right.
You know, I'm not talking about physical attraction here. I'm talking about do you have energy and passion and enthusiasm like he's got?
Okay, I might not have the looks, but I'm a bring the daggone energy. I know I got them. You know, you got to be humble. I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And she just said she's good looking, so I don't know what else you want.
I'm good.
All right, let's move on.
Just want to
move on from that one. What we need to refuse to talk about. I talk about this all the time. I just harp on this. I mean, I've beaten a dead horse all the time about this. My God. I don't know which one bothers me the worst. I can tell you, I know which one bothers me the worst. But I'll just tell you, the past, people like to come up and start talking about what went on in the past. Now, I'm a history major, so I like to study the past to learn from the past. So I don't repeat the past. But these people I run into, not going to say where, maybe at the convention, and they talk about the past, and they want to tell me everything that's gone wrong because they're about to tell me what they're not doing in the present. So where the excuse lives is in the past. Right? And then they bring that, the only thing they live in the future, the present with is blame. So the excuses of the past causes them to be blamers of the present. I don't, that's bad enough. But I expect people to live in the past because a lot of people love to talk about what went on yesterday. If you tell people they can't talk about the past, they don't have a lot to talk about. Because they're not living in the here and now. If you want to be rich in this business or any business, you've got to embrace the here and now. The ones that bother me the most are the ones that talk about the future. And you might think that's odd because you want them to talk about the future. No, not the ones that live in the past and then they fast forward to the future. They skip right over the present. They just told me, well, Jeff, I'm not writing anything right now, and I won't be for the next 3 months because life is happening, right? They give me the actual thing that's happening like I really want to hear that. But they tell me life is happening, and then they go, but I'm going to tell you what. Give me about 3 months, and I get everything in, all the ducks in a row. Remember my name. Because you're going to see me on top of the leaderboard. I want to scream. I want to strangle them. I want to scream because they're making idle promises. I don't like the excuse of the past, and I don't like idle promises. Tell me what you're going to do today. Because if you live in the past, it kills your trust in this system. It kills the ability to hope for a better tomorrow. The future will distract you from the routine that you have scheduled for your present. You will abandon your schedule. You'll abandon these new habits that you're trying to introduce in your present.
That's right.
Because you're like going, well, in the future, everything's going to be brighter.
So the past is an indicator of what's to come if you don't change, right? So I think I'm a winner. I look at the past, and that fires me up. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me my mama was given 6 million eggs when she was created, and the sperm and the egg connected, and I was 1 out of 6 million?
There you go.
I'm a winner. I start looking back over all the stuff that I done won over before in the past. Being picked on, told you went to a no-name school, you still can get out here and compete. Like, I start looking back at my victories. See, when I start looking at my victories, that gives me confidence that I am well able to handle anything that's going to come my way. Because if I won then, I'm going to win now. But it's the people that focus on their losses. That's what they stuck on. They stuck on the misery. They love to tell the story of how they got defeated. And I like telling the story of how I kicked fear tail and told fear to get in the back seat of my car and watch me work today. All day I'm riding around telling fear, you like that? That's $5,000 in premium today, baby. So it's like, think back on your past, but think back on the wins. Think back on the wins so you can win tomorrow. Because guess what? It's going to be another devil 3 months down the road. You think that devil gone? It's going to be another devil waiting for you.
And I was giving a talk the other day about the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." Y'all know that song?
Row, row, row your boat.
Well, hey, some of these young people ain't never heard it,
Right.
and I had to sing it.
I mean, they don't even know how to write in
That
cursive
was
no more.
But I equate the rowing to the dialing for them. I just made that. And the oar going in the water is the phone. So if you take your oar out of the water every once in a while, take a break, you mess up your momentum. And what you're trying to row away from is that past. You got to get it in a rearview mirror that's tiny. You just keep rowing. Don't take that oar out of the water. Like people work out, or it kills me. They or diet or whatever. Like, oh, I'm gonna diet for a month, then I'm gonna eat like crazy for 3 months, then I'm gonna go back on that diet. I'm gonna start running. I'm gonna prepare for that marathon, but I'm
You
gonna
don't supposed to tell what I tell you. You don't supposed to tell it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it. Right. I don't know what I was thinking. I gotta move on. All right. This is my favorite slide.
Can't keep no secrets.
This is my favorite slide. All right, let's talk. This is a good slide. All right, and we got to talk about this book again on this slide here.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah. All right. So, the word expectation. What it's asking here is, what price are you willing to pay? Well, you got to be willing to set expectation. Now, here's the problem I think we have. The biggest problem we have with agents is that they want to set a goal. Now, I know we're getting into tomato and tomato, and you can go, there's a lot of good books out there called goal setting, and I'm not putting anything down that has the word goal in it. But I don't like the word goal. I hate it. I've never liked it because it has a sense of an out clause. Like, well, I didn't hit que sera, sera. Whatever will be. And I'll set another one next month. Whoopee. That doesn't. There's people that live in the future. They love to set goals in the future, right? And I'm not against that, but I don't want to hear about your goals. I want to hear about, look at the word, expectation. I expect you to hit something.
That's right.
Because I'm now expecting your have to number, not your want to number, which is a goal number. Now, the reason I do this, the only reason I'm going to get into this expectation versus goal right now is because I'm trying to breathe life into your drive. I'm trying to get you to be intentional with this thing.
Yeah.
So you can't be intentional with a goal because the goal's way the hell over there.
That's right.
You can't even see some of these goals. What I'm going to do for a year from now. Well, a year from now, I want to talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. For some of you, I got to rein it in. Expectation is reachable. You can see it. It's attainable.
Right
and
now.
It's something it can be a week out, a month out. I don't let them go more than a month out. But if you can see something, and you think you can reach it, it activates your drive. You become more intentional. Because the drive is not something you teach yourself. It's in you.
Right.
You just got to activate it. And you activate it with an expectation, not a goal. Now, the other thing here is having the discipline to stick to that expectation. If you don't fear the consequences of hitting the expectation, you ain't going to hit it. Fear is your weapon. I'm afraid, my expectations of myself one of them is to pay my mortgage. I'm scared to death not to pay it because I don't want to sleep under a bridge.
Right.
Some people ain't afraid to do that. I don't know how to motivate those people. I don't even try. Once they tell me, well, I'm not real scared if I don't hit this. I'm like, I want to know what you're scared of. That's the only way I can motivate. If I found out what you're scared of. Now, I don't want to tell you all the things I'm scared of, but I mean, one of them was in this building the other day. Was a darn snake got in here. Yeah. And you know where Jeff was? I got out of here. And I told Andy, and he got out of here. We got the hell out of here. They had a python get in here. So, somebody's pet. It was upstairs. And I was like, if I'd have walked in on that, I wouldn't be doing this call.
I mean, I'm about ready to go right now.
So, yeah. So being afraid of not hitting it is how you motivate people. If they're not afraid of something, they're not going to hit it. It's simple as that.
So, and in this business, right, in corporate America, there are rules, right? If you don't show up, you're going to get a pink slip. You get 3 occurrences, you're going to get unemployment. Well, we live in a world where everybody 1099 and don't nobody fear nobody. But let me tell you what I feared. I feared that God gave me this opportunity that could set me up financially, not just for me, but for my family, and I squandered that thing. I'm scared to get to the gate and he say, not well done, thou good and faithful servant. I was afraid to let the team down, the leadership of this company, Andy and Jane and Riddle and Mathis, them. I tell Mathis all the time, I'm going to be on the left of your chart. The dream team is one organization. You ain't going to even have to worry about, and we're going to kick all your other legs' tail. We're going to set a dang on good example. You know what I'm saying? So expectations, if people start responding to your expectations, that lets you know you got somebody that's wanting to conform and play in the sandbox. But in the real world, people be like, I want to wake up when I get tired of sleep and do what I want to. You ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do. This is my life. But this ain't your life, sweetheart. This is not, we just leasing this time that we got here. We don't own none of this. So it's like, that's what I look for. If I throw an expectation out there and somebody responds to it, that lets me know that they're conforming. What if they stop conforming? They got comfortable. So now my coaching on them changed. You ain't all in, I ain't all in with you.
Yeah.
You know, but when shit hit the fan, don't call me then.
Yeah.
You should be okay, never mind.
Yeah. and Terry used the word conformity. You know, the first step is to be a conformist. And a lot of people don't want to be a conformist today. They think, hey, I'm going to be the best version of me. It's all about me. I don't take orders from nobody. I'm not a conformist. Well, sometimes, I used to fight the man too. When I was in my 20s, I fought the good fight. But then I figured out, hey, I don't even know who the man is. I just started to conform, and everything started to work out for me. But conformity will lead to obedience. Yeah. And what do you got to be obedient to? The routine. So if you don't set an expectation that you're afraid of not hitting, then you're not going to meet it. But what's going to help you along the way is to get rid of those bad habits, replace them with new habits, and accept the schedule that's put in front of you. A lot of people won't accept the routine. They just won't. They won't make this business a priority. So Andy and I were talking about this today, just using an example like the book, right? Yeah. Andy gives people this book to read, and then they don't read it. Because they see it as a goal. My goal is
to finish it.
Yeah, to finish it, or I've read, how many pages you read? A couple of pages. And he's frustrated because he comes from the same era I come from. Because back then a goal was a goal, but it's not. It's like, it's not, it's a nicety. It's not a necessity. Yeah, but if we set the expectation, is you will read this by this date. Now, once again, that don't mean they're going to read it by that date. But if there's a consequence, the consequence is if you don't read it, you're probably not going to be successful in this business. Right. Now, what happens if you read it one time? Then you might accept the routine of what we want you to do is one of the steps in the 8 steps is to read, and you will create a routine of now reading the other books that are on page whatever. 85, 87.
85 through about 89.
Yeah. You'll get in the routine of reading. So, I know that's a small example, but it's reading the book is not a big deal, but it's a big freaking deal. It is about the words on the page, and it ain't about the words on it. It's about creating the habit of reading. But you first got to read this and accept our thinking, our way. Chick-fil-A has their way. This is our way.
That's right.
This introduces you to our way. If you're getting involved with us, why wouldn't you want to know what our way is?
That's right. That's right.
I never understood that. But before we leave this, I got to tell this story.
Yeah,
we're good on 129. All right. So this kind of brings, I told Terry this story, and he thinks it's a good story, and he's going to make a correlation back to the business. So I had this girl on a call the other day. She's just now getting her license. I can't remember her name. I think it was Melissa or something like that. She's under Caroline Paul. And, I was really impressed with her right off the bat because I found out something about her. And I'm betting all chips in the middle that she's going to do this thing and do it well. Now, I'm real hesitant to do that because I meet a lot of them that talk a big game and then they go on the witness protection program. I don't ever know where they're at.
Where they at?
I don't know where they're at today. I used to, in the beginning when I started out, I used to miss them. Heck, coming? I don't miss none of them because I don't get attached to them no more because I don't believe any of them. But I somehow not believe this one. But she told me something.
What'd she say?
She said she's run 19 half marathons, 13.1 miles. And that might not mean nothing to y'all. But if you was a runner, like I was a runner, and I ran some half marathons, I ran some full marathons, 26.2 miles, you ain't playing around when you do that, right? At 18 miles, they always tell you the 18-mile mark is the wall. Now, I heard about it. The first time I ran, I was like, well, 17 miles, I'm coming up on this wall. And lo and behold, something happened. And it happened to her every time she ran 19 times at the 7.5-mile mark. She had the same experience. And I know that she's willing, I know what she's willing to do because of what she fought through when she hit that wall. She fought through it 19 times. And let me explain that wall. And I explain it the best when I hit the 18. So I get there, and I'm running on fumes. They had told me that the color would go out of the trees and the grass, and it did. Everything turned into a black and white movie. I mean, I have nothing left. And I got 8 more miles to go. And I'm just exhausted. And all of a sudden, these two people show up on my shoulder. They look just like me. And they popped up right here. One of them has horns. And one of them had a halo. And they start to talk about me like I'm not there. Have a conversation about my life.
Right in front of you.
And I'm going to tell you what, I was a little disappointed in the one with the halo. They didn't say a lot. They didn't say a lot at all. They were quiet. I'm looking at them like, are you going to rebut any of this? Because that devil version of me was making a lot of sense. They should go out and sell insurance because they made a lot of sense. They was telling me, ain't you tired? I'm like, yeah, I am. Well, yeah. Yes. Why are you doing this? What are you going to get? A ribbon? I said, if you place, you ain't placing. You sucking. You barely going to finish this thing. You don't get nothing. Nobody's ever going to know that you didn't finish. Just quit right now. Look over there, Jim. There's a Chick-fil-A. It's 10:15. You like those chicken biscuits. They're going to stop serving in 15 minutes. Go get you a biscuit. And you love tea? You go there, nobody's ever going to know. Just stop. Don't do it. And I'm sitting there going, they're making all this guy. I'm like, well, yeah. It's time to stop.
It's not to.
There's absolutely no reason to stop. I mean, to keep going. Then finally the angel spoke up. And the angel said, I ain't never heard the angel version of me talk, but it was really kind of neat. And so, because I'm kind of mischievous. But I sit there and I was like, okay, what are you going to say? It cleared its throat, and it's going to say something real profound. And it said, you don't start things that you don't finish. And I looked at them like, the hell I don't. Yeah. And it said, you know what? Yeah, that chicken biscuit's going to be a quick fix, right? Instant gratification. But what's on the wall, the other side of this 18th mile, it's the 19th mile. And I'm like, yeah, that's usually how it goes. And when you get over there, there's a gift that's going to be waiting for you. And it's a gift that's going to keep on giving the rest of your life. And when you're going to run into all kind of hardships. Now, you got to realize I'm about 23 now. And I'm sitting there going, hardships, huh? Yeah, you're going to run into all kinds of things that's going to happen. You're going to remember that you fought through this feeling.
That's right.
And this accomplishment that you're about to have of fighting through this is going to stay with you. And when you have bad things happen to you, you're going to remember that. And nothing's ever going to keep you down. Because on the other side of this 18th mile is the gift of the second win.
That's right.
And I got my second win. And I think some of our agents, when they dial, they have that same conversation with themselves. And I think they get to the 200th dial and they go, nothing's working. They hit their wall dialing and they give up and they go to Chick-fil-A and they don't stay around.
Yeah. And this business, you're going to have some high highs and you will have some low lows, but it's how you handle it. How do you stay in the middle of the road? It's by knowing that stuff is going to go wrong. Knowing that, I was talking to an agent the other day, and she had left her job and struggled with schedule, wouldn't get coaching, so she went back to work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go back to work. That ain't gonna be my story though. But she said, ever since I went back to work, I ain't had no pressure. With expectations come pressure. And diamonds can't be created without pressure. So I was at a school meeting and the teacher told the 4th grade class, y'all worried about the end of grade testing? Don't worry about it, sweetheart, because pressure is a privilege. It is a privilege to have somebody have expectations of you. It is a privilege to have an opportunity that if you can look back and overcome this, that anything else come your way, you can handle that. That is something that you can't, that is the gift that keeps on giving. The gift of perseverance, the gift of overcoming. Because I don't care who you are in this world, everything ain't gonna come the way that we want it. And social media has got us fooled, thinking that entrepreneurship is you wake up when you get tired of sleeping and you just got money coming in and you ain't got to do nothing and you're going to be rich in 90 days. That ain't real life. That if you want a successful marriage, you got to work your tail off at it. If you want a successful business, you got to wake up in the morning, give it everything you got, take you a nap and get up next day, do it again. But that is truly the gift that keeps on giving. A lot of people are, in this day and time, they're running away from pressure.
Wow.
You know what winners are saying? Apply pressure. No, you know what winners saying? I am pressure.
That's right.
I am. When I walk in the room, it's pressure.
That's right.
It's pressure, baby.
An entrepreneur is not going to get through that wall, but an agent will. I think we need to teach people to be agents first, and then they graduate to become an entrepreneur.
Because you're going to hit the wall at final expense. And then there's another wall to hit at learning annuities, then estate planning, right? And then a whole nother, when you start building and trying to deal with people, that's a whole nother wall.
I want audience participation, right? Which one of these two? I think we need to get people, agents to avoid both of these. The fear of rejection or the fear of trying something new. If we inherit a brand new agent and you could get rid of one of these, automatically they don't have it. But then the other one, you can try to coach them, right? I've already polled this with a bunch of agents. I know what they go to first, and it ain't the one I picked, but it's the one they go to. I'm curious, are y'all going with the fear of rejection, or are you going with the fear of trying something new?
I'm going with something new. I'm going with new.
Most of the uplines picked fear of rejection because that is a surface problem that is very obvious when you look out there. People don't want to go and get rejected at the home. They don't want to dial and get rejected. It is a problem. Both of these are problems. But the fear of accepting, changing their life and changing their schedule and making this a priority, because they want this, but they don't want to do what they need to do to make it happen. So they're not willing to take off the fun stuff and make a sacrifice. That's why I would get rid of that first. Yeah. What do you think about that?
100%. Because the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing or keep being the same person and expect a different result. And it is hard to change bad habits. Like, I love carbs. And carbs love me. It's hard to get away from them.
Is it? Is it now?
It's very difficult.
You should say so.
Changing your life is hard. But not changing your life is going to be hard. Jason Mathis said we just got to choose our heart.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that. I will say this, like, if I always look at things like the chicken and the egg, right? So I'm looking at this and the chicken and the egg. And you can make a case either way. But I don't know if we're going to find out that if they fear rejection until we get them to change their schedule first. We got to get them to the place where they can get rejected. You know what I mean? That's how I'm thinking.
Right.
This is kind of right. Last one. Are y'all happy it's the last one? It's the last one. Y'all have stuck with us through all this. This is the kind of stuff that I do on the calls. We do a call. I hold people accountable to their numbers, and then we do that's what we've been waiting on. That noise.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoyable.
That was good. I was kind of ready for it. I saw it coming. We got somebody doing hiccups out here. Right. What action should we get people to start taking immediately? Well, control what you can control. If you can't control something, why are you concentrating on it? And then developing a conditional response. I think about that one in terms of people get real jacked up high when they do have a great week or a great month, but then they get real depressed in the depths of hell when they have a bad month. How about learning to stay kind of medium, like in the middle?
Yeah.
You know, those two things, I think, that's what, I mean, there's a lot of things we could put on this list. Those two things I would like people to start. Quit complaining about stuff you can't control. What would be an example that they complain about that's not within their control?
They'll complain about the leads, but won't complain about making dials. These leads don't work. Well, how many dials did you make? Well, I feel like I've been dialing all day long. Okay, do me a favor. If we want to continue this conversation, like, I don't mind talking about your feelings, but we ain't gonna stay there long. Snap a picture of your activity book and send it to me and let's talk. Because this is what I know. You're going to talk to 10% of your dials. You're going to book 50% of the people you talk to. You're going to sit with 60% of the people you book, and you're going to close 50% of the people that you sit down and talk with when you first getting started. So if you're making 32 dials, you're looking for a miracle. You want the lottery ticket. You want to book one appointment, go sit that appointment, and close that one appointment. When the successful people know that you let the numbers be your friend. 20 appointments a week. I ain't never seen nobody run 20 appointments consistently a week and not make $2,000 to $3,000. I don't care if you booked 20 and sat on 15 and 5 told you no. Go to your next 5 and see what that looked like. Don't stop. So it's like you can control your activity and you can control your attitude. Step 8 in the 8 steps to success is communicating with a positive mental attitude. Don't come to me BMCing. Come to me seeking a solution. How we can fix this together, right? So if you're willing to do the work and you ain't got no money, I will invest in leads. But if I invest in leads and you ain't tracking your dials, you ain't filling out your activity book, I'm not going to keep wasting my money with you. Oh, I was talking to an agent the other day, and it was like, well, we're just not profitable. Okay, your close ratio is 38%. Your chargeback ratio is 60-some%. Are you getting the referrals? Are you doing the 4 basics in the house? You can control filling out the green sheet. You can control calling from the house. You can control getting referrals, and you can control recruiting across the table. Do what you can do and let God do what he gonna do. See, I like to work like it depends on me, but I pray like it depends on him. I got to give him something to work with. It is impossible to get out here and work consistently and not get results. But the problem is this right here. People like to lie. And they like to lie to themselves. And that's very dangerous. Be real with yourself. I ain't putting in the work. This ain't working because I ain't working. Don't blame the upline.
I hope y'all have enjoyed this today. I want to close with a quote because I'm a big quote person, right? So it's a long quote, and we read it on our calls, and it's pretty profound. And I found this quote because at the convention, I'm going to talk about how to talk to this 70%. We're not doing nothing with that 70%. We're relying too heavily on that 30%. We sort, and we get rid of that 70%. Guess what? I'm in that 70%. Would you not want to recruit me? Am I going to be married to this? Is it going to be my identity? No. But if I tell you I'm going to do 3 apps a week, I'll give you 3. Don't ask for 4, and I won't give you 2. I'll give you 3, but I won't be married to it. Do you want that person? We're forgetting that person. They don't show up. That person doesn't show up at our convention. I don't show up at your convention. My people don't show up. I want my people to show up.
That's right.
That's the only way we're gonna fill our ring.
We kind of hide, but we keep this country going. My people do. Your packages get delivered to your door because of my people. Somebody's waiting on you at the fast food because of my people there. Are we married to that fast food job? Hell no. We just do the necessary evil, but we're not married to our job. We ain't ever going to be excited about selling insurance, but we'll sell it to you. We'll go out and do 3 apps a week. Do you want an army of us? Mm-hmm. Guess where you find us? We're already working.
That's right.
We're working. We ain't on the list. We're working somewhere. How you going to get us? You don't get us by getting us fired up, because I ain't going to be fired up. I ain't going to drink no Kool-Aid. I ain't going to do it. I'll stir it for you. So
I'll pass it out for you.
I'm all about the rah-rah. I'll participate in it. But my people ain't showing up. We got to find my people. So I got a quote of how to reach my people and why we are who we are. And this just kind of gives you a little bit of an introduction to what I'm going to talk about at the convention about how to reach my people. Do you think this will be helpful?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Our deepest fear, I mean, it's like I start off saying, Terry, what is your deepest fear? For my people, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. I play small. I choose to play small because all I want is security. But stop it. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure about you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. We are your secret weapon if you can get us to participate. Thank you guys for being on the show today.
Woo! See y'all in Dallas.